starting with the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, to whom we all have to turn. Honorable listeners and respectable audience, you know that we have started a series of linguistics. In linguistics, we have commenced the new chapter that is known as translation studies. Yesterday, I told you about translation and its definitions with examples, particularly the source text and target text as well. I told you that translation refers to the process of transferring the source text, the meaning of the source text into the target text. Today I'm going to teach you types of translation. Remember, there are so many types of translation. We will discuss it with the passage of time. However, today we are discussing only three of them in detail. The first one, that is word for word translation. What is word for word translation? How it is different from literal translation? Word for word translation is a type of translation in which the meaning, the word of the source text is transferred. It is converted into the target language. However, some points must be kept in mind in order to understand word for word translation. In word for word translation, the exact meaning is not conveyed. There is no natural flow in word for word translation. And grammar structure is also ignored in word for word translation. Similarly, sometimes the meaning is not clear. The clear concept and meaning is not conveyed. For example, here you see, he is extremely happy. This is the original text. This is the original text. Now, what would be the word for word translation? The word for word translation is in Urdu language, that is the target text. He, word for word translation is waho, is, word for word translation is hai, extremely, word for word translation is behad, happy, word for word translation is khush. So when I say he is extremely happy, word for word translation is woh hai behad khush. So you see, you take the meaning of the sentence, but there is no natural flow, and it does not convey the message. Sometimes that could be natural and understandable, even sometimes without context. Okay, now let's come to another example. For example, in this you see it is raining cats and dogs. I told you that the meaning is sometimes not clear. For example, ये है बरस रही है बिल्लियां और कुत्ते. It mean ये. It mean है. Raining mean बरस रही है. Cats mean बिल्लियां and dogs and mean our dogs mean kutte. Again, the meaning is not clear. Why? Because of word for word translation. Let's come to literal translation. Remember, some of the readers, they consider literal and word for word translation similar. However, when you are studying deeply, then you will know the main difference. Actually, word for word translation, here you only translate one language into another language. It means from the source text into the target text, literally. And there is no proper order of the grammar, no proper structure, no natural flow. But here, in literal translation, we translate, we transfer and convert the meaning, the words of the source text into target text. But there is proper structure available. There is no proper structure of a sentence, grammatical structure I'm talking about, but there is grammatical structure. Like you see in this example, he is extremely happy. This is the literal translation. वो बेहद खुश है. So here grammar structure is there. But again, sometimes there is no natural flow. But the natural flow is little bit available because it is nearest to original text to some extent. But again, it may not be convey the exact meaning, the correct meaning. The meaning can be confused the listeners and audience in some situations. How? I'm going to discuss this. How? For example, you see, it is raining cats and dogs. Here the sentence, the literal meaning has been given. कुत्ते और बिल्लियां बरस रही है. Again, it is incorrect. This is not the meaning of this sentence. Okay, now what is sense for sense translation? Sense for sense translation is the type of translation in which the meaning of the source text is converted, is transferred from the to the original text. I'm repeating, I made mistake. Sense for sense translation is a translation in which the meaning of the source text is transferred to the target text. But this is very interesting. Why? Because the meaning is conveyed, the original meaning is conveyed without any confusion. Natural flow is there. The context is clear. The concept is also clear. For example, in this example, you see, he is extremely happy. Since person's translation is, वो इंतहाई खुश है. Okay, it means उसकी खुशी का कोई इंतहा नहीं. And this example, you see, it is raining cats and dog. The meaning is मूसलाधार बारिश हो रही है. This is the exact and correct meaning. The correct meaning is conveyed. And this example you see, Pashibo Shibo Baran Parigi. This is Pashto example, Pashibo Shibo Baran Parigi. But if you coming to the literal translation, then again incorrect meaning, the Spo Au Pishogan Baran Parigi. And if you're talking about, for example, here, he is extremely happy, and you're talking about sense for sense translation, Hagabe Andazi Khoshale. So hope that now you know about the main difference between word forward translation and sense for sense translation. But also keep in mind a word forward translation and literal translation also have little differences. Hope that this topic is clear to you.